While kitschy, haunted house attractions are fairly common, some people want to experience real ghosts and ghouls around Halloween. Lucky for all you thrill seekers out there, the United States is full of historical homes with interesting stories attached to them, and it's not too hard to find real haunted houses if you know where to look. So in this video, we are going to tell you the top 5 haunted houses. Number 5. Biltmore. George Washington Vanderbilt, Iowa, built this stately vacation home in the 1800s. Since then, it has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in North Carolina and the country. While nothing completely nefarious has happened on the estate, the home's former owners seem to remain very active in the afterlife. After Vanderbilt died in 1914, his estate passed on to his children, who decided to open the home up to the public. That's when the paranormal activity apparently began. Visitors have claimed to hear a woman's voice, possibly Vanderbilt's wife, Edith, calling his name, and some say they've spotted some ghostly apparitions. The estate also features a number of hidden doors and passageways, adding to the home's overall spook factor. Number 4. Villisca Axe and Murder House. The small Iowa town of Villisca doesn't have much to offer tourists except for a night of terror at the Villisca Axe and Murder House. Back in 1912, the Whitewood House was the site of a horrifying crime that left an entire family, including 4 children and their 2 young friends, dead by an axe-wielding murderer. There were several suspects, including an Iowa state senator, but no one was ever charged with the bloody crime. Some 110 years later, the ghosts of the victims are said to remain in the house, yearning for justice. Visitors eager for a taste of the supernatural can book tours of the site, while the bravest can spend the night and see what goes bump. Number 3. Lizzie Borden House. Lizzie Borden, daughter of Andrew and stepdaughter of Abby, became the prime suspect and eventually the subject of a popular children's rhyme. Andrew was a widowed cabinet maker and had 2 daughters, Lizzie and Emma Lenora. In 1865, he married Abby Durfee Gray, and then in 1872, he bought this home so he could be closer to the city's downtown district. Reports say the Bordens were not a loving family unit, and the stresses of step-relatives created much tension in the house, which were only escalated by the Borden girls' fears that their father was bequeathing his assets and property to the stepmother's side of the family. Lizzie was indicted for the crime and then acquitted by a jury. It was considered the trial of the century. She and her sister eventually moved to a home on French Street before eventually going their separate ways. The murder home is now a bed and breakfast, where Andrew and Abby are said to still roam. Number 2. Franklin Castle, Cleveland, Ohio. This imposing Victorian house is considered to be the most haunted house in Ohio, and it's easy to see why. It was built in the 1800s by Hans Tiedemann, who was known around Cleveland to be cruel and abusive. When a string of mysterious deaths in Tiedemann's family happened in the house, those rumors crystallized. Among the many people who suddenly lost their lives in the house was Emma, Tiedemann's daughter, who apparently died due to complications with diabetes. Then, Tiedemann's mother and 3 more of his children died. Tiedemann's wife, Louise, also passed away, apparently due to liver failure, but many rumors circulated that Tiedemann was actually responsible. It's also rumored that he murdered other members of his family, including his niece, a possible illegitimate daughter, and his mistress. Tiedemann moved away from the house shortly after his wife's death. Number 1. The White House. The White House may be home to the president, but it is also rumored to house many illustrious ghosts within its storied walls. President Ronald Reagan reportedly entertained dinner party guests with stories of his dog barking at invisible specters and his daughter, Maureen, waking to a transparent figure looking out the window of the Lincoln bedroom. It may have been President Lincoln himself, returning to his former home in the hopes of reuniting with his wife and son. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill reportedly encountered Lincoln's ghost as well, while he was stepping out of the bathtub. Lincoln and his wife, Mary Todd, held seances in the White House, according to Mental Floss. They hoped to contact their son, Willie, who died of typhoid, presumably from contaminated water pumped into the White House. They never contacted their son, but they did claim to get in touch with President Andrew Jackson, who was loitering in his former bedroom. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.